Hello everybody, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. And in this video I'm going to be going over something I was going to a while ago, but either slipped my mind or I didn't have the time. So here I am right now. Yay! I'm coming at you with some of the review, like a re-review I guess, of like the gear from the spawn. I'm not even going to be talking about the spawn, I already talked about the spawn. Just a re-review of the gear and what's not going on with the treasure spawn. I'm sorry that it's only going to be like 15 hours before it ends, but I guess better late than never. So anyways, moving on from there, let's actually go over the monster a little bit more and what's so not. Okay, so with Noah, again, I'm pretty sure a lot of you, I hate to mention names, have seen, I have read some of the comments below that some people believe Frenzy is a really good buff when I watched Timely's video on this, and what I gotta say about Frenzy is, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but we've had Frenzy for a long time, and has it really been that bad? Let's be honest, has it really been that bad? To answer your question, in my perspective, in my opinion, if you're not doing any of the 40 cost dragons, by the way, or you're not trying to get like the top score in guild raids, no, it's really not, to be fairly honest, like really worth it whatsoever. Usually when you're dealing with Frenzy, again, with Frenzy, it doesn't nullify buff removal, it just nullifies debuffs. So that means if they buff themselves, you could still remove that. So Frenzy isn't all too really big of a deal to deal with. It can be an issue, it can be annoying and what's so not, but it's not a big issue. When you're doing player versus player, just pop a freaking Tristan and watch them die. Like, it's not that worrisome. All you gotta do is pop a heavy AP monster and you're good to go. You kill them in Coliseum and duel rooms, guild battles as well, and with the Frenzy for player versus enemy, for the most part, it's not really worrisome whatsoever. This can be useful in some scenarios, like I just mentioned 2 of them, and maybe occasionally, very occasionally, it can be useful in like other events and what's so not. But for the most part, the remove Frenzy isn't all too worrisome. It literally isn't. Like, if you can, put in the comments names of stuff that you would probably nearly need at least Frenzy for besides those 2 things. I want to see what you guys come up with. But anyways, moving on from there. The applies reliant state to all allies that nullifies UC gouge reduction 1 time might actually be pretty good if it works for like negative pressure and Onimus Omen, because that means that you get a freebie with that. And it lasts for an unlimited amount of time. The only way this buff is going to go away is the guild battle ends, or perhaps instead you do Unison gouge reduction. That's literally the only ways it's going to end. Also for player versus enemy as well, this applies to. But yeah, that's very nice. Again, I could see this being a very useful monster for when the 40 cost dragon comes out, and for that reason alone, we do have that buff Kinjin, and it is a very nice field buff. If you combo it with the right monsters, you're going to do crazy amounts of damage, especially with that ability power buff with critical hits. Oh man, that's scary stuff right there. That really is. But yeah, with this buff, it's legitimately, if you look at it, it's literally like a sibling or cousin to Blessing. And if you look right here, when Blessed very first came out, Michaela was the only monster with Blessing, and what they made it feel like is this is going to be like, well, like they're only going to come out with them every once in a while. They're going to be something new, top tier only. I'm not sure how to explain it, but pretty much like they're trying to make it feel like this is the greatest opportunity to grab this buff and what's not. And then later, right after, how many blessings did they come out with? How many blessings did they come out with? They came out with a lot, right? Like, yeah, so like it's not too worrisome. Hero isn't... well, Hero's a bit rare, but honestly, nowadays at least, it was, like back then, it was kind of rare, but nowadays, it's pretty dang common. Blessing was very first rare when Michaela came out. It's a little more common now, so you should expect the same thing from, what's the buff over here? Kinjin. It's no different. Like, this isn't going to be the only monster with this buff, so honestly, there might be better monsters with this buff, to be fairly honest. This monster does not have a great combo with everything it does. It legitimately doesn't. Like, it's got 1 DPS buff right here, and then it's got 1 guild battle buff, and then it's got like a player versus enemy buff that's really exclusive to some enemies and what's not. These are good abilities standalone, yes, but with this monster, it doesn't have a great combo system. Like, if you look at let's see over here, we got Ray right here. Decreased cost recovery speed, Unison gauge gains are very nice. When you're attacking, you're getting more Unison gauge. If you increase the Unison gauge gains, you're getting Unison quicker. So with the cost, you're getting quicker. You're able to do more attacks, and because you're able to do more attacks, you're getting the Unison gauge gains increase on top of the regular Unison gauge. Like, that's a combo right there. That's a combo. This monster doesn't really have a combo. These abilities stand alone are good, yes, but the combo, it doesn't exist within the monster. So that's pretty much what I gotta say about the monster. Again, if you're uncertain of what's on. As for the gear right here, the weapons, let's talk about the weapons first. The weapons are exclusive skills. Now, I do have the bow, so I have tested this out and what's on the bow, and it seems like they do have lower proc rates. They're not dead. You will notice them within matches. They don't have like the worst proc rate in the game, I would say, but they do have the lower tier of proc rates. Not the worst. You will see it. You will see it, definitely. Like, you will see it at least a couple times. At least a couple times. Even if it's not in your main slot. Like, I have it in my side slot. I don't have it in my main slot. I notice it like every once in a while. Definitely. Both guild battles and regular missions, I've noticed it proc before. So it's definitely not dead rates, but they do have a little lower rates on the stuff. Very nice though for some of the skills they have. Pretty damn deadly, especially if you're dealing with tanky enemies. Oh, that's some of these, like this one right here. Very nice ability. If you get it to proc, oh man, it's beautiful. It really is. Like, it really does help with damage a lot. Like, this is one of the more heavy hitting damage. I'm not gonna say significantly heavier than some of my bows I have equipped. Like, let's say, let me go to my archer real quick. I'm gonna show you what I have equipped. Okay, so my heaviest hitting, no questions asked, is Fatal Testament. And then this one right here has got Flight Testament. I've used Flight Testament a lot. I gotta say, out of Flight Testament and this one, Sniper's Pride does more, at least for right now. Like, if you go to the weaker enemies, the more weaker the enemy, the less effective Sniper Pride becomes, and becomes more of like a Fatal Testament than a Sniper's Pride. Because as you see right here, the whole purpose in it is to ignore 50% of the target's defense and magic defense. Of course, it's going to massively increase physical and magical damage when using an ability, sort of like you would expect from a Testament. But yeah, that's pretty much that for that. Art of, I think it takes 2, if I'm correct. I might be wrong, but it takes literally 2, which is possible to stack 2 art ofs. Definitely for Unison gauge too. Like, if you use 2 art ofs, it's happened to me, you will get 6 Unison gauge gains. I know a lot of you, well, a few of you have been questioning on that. It takes about 2 of these art ofs to proc to actually get around a little more, but around as much damage as Sniper's Pride. So definitely, this is a very nice skill to have. A little lower the proc rate. A little lower on the proc rate, I meant to say, but it definitely does do the trick, like I said, in the ability for when I was actually talking about the spawn and what's not. Okay, so I'm pretty sure a lot of you have been wondering about this most of all, so yeah, the best for last, the armors. A lot of you have been hearing good things about them, but it's been debatable because of the rates and what's not on the armors. Now, I'm pretty sure a decent amount of you have seen me wear the helmets and what's not, so you might be wondering, like, hey Azure, how's the rates going? You have the helmet over here, I see. Yeah, I do have the helmet, pal, but I don't have anything besides the helmet and the bow, to be fairly honest. If you look right here, you can even pause the video. I do not BS you. I literally only have the hat and the bow. The reason I even have the hat in the first place is I want to see the rates on the treasure spawn and what's not, and it really does have nice rates for the medals. What they did was they did an illusionary technique. Is pretty much what they did is you're getting a lot of medals, right? But this is how the rates work for this treasure spawn alone. You're getting a lot of medals out of the jackpot. Like, you're getting 1,000 to 1,300 guaranteed. Well, not guaranteed, but very high rates. But in exchange, it's going to be really hard to get the jackpot. They put low rates on getting the jackpot, but they attain high rates on what the jackpot has to offer and what's not. That's pretty much what they did with the jackpot. It's legitimately what they did. Low rates on the jackpot, but high rates on the rewards that are coming out of the jackpot. That's pretty much what they did for the jackpot. So yeah, I was testing that out, and during that test, that's how I got the helmet. I actually was debating for like 3 to 4 days straight whether to get the helmet or to go for another weapon, and I decided screw it. I don't really know what to choose, and I really like the helmet, so I'm going to go for the helmet and see how it looks on my character, and I actually did like it. So yeah, I have somebody though that actually has both, and I'm assuming it is a she that is, tested them, if I could find the message here. And yeah, she's right here. As you can see, she has legitimately both. Thank you, Edge, for the help. She says she wants to say if you have 2 Fatal Testament XLs, the time they don't proc is the time the constant effect might. It doesn't help a whole ton, but it isn't unnoticeable either, so that pretty much says it right there. The proc rate isn't too good, but not too bad either. It looks like Fatal Testament really, it doesn't matter whether you go for more Fatal Testaments or more of the constant effects. She's only one person though, you might want to try this out yourself, but at least you have somewhat of a more perspective before actually doing this and what's not when it comes to the armor. If you want to comment below your experience with it, your runs with it, and pretty much how helpful it is, to absolutely below comment. It helps other people out and what's not, and absolutely I permit it. So go ahead and do that if you like and what's not. So yeah, that pretty much is it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped out, even though I came out with this pretty late. This is the AzureWrath, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.